Hi, my dear students. How are you doing today? Okay, so today we'll learn mixed conditionals. But before, let's revise our zero, first, second, and the third conditionals. All right? So let's start with the zero conditional. So we use zero conditional in order to express a general truth or we give advice. So look at the examples. If you don't water flowers, they die. As you see from this example, it's a general truth. Second one, if you have a headache, stop watching TV. This is an advice. So as you see, if clause and the main clause are both in present simple, or sometimes main clause could be in imperative. So now let's revise our first conditional. First conditional expresses a possible condition and its probable result in the future. And the first conditional refers to the present and the future. So in the first conditional, in a clause, we need to use present simple tense, and in main clause, we have to use future simple. So let's read examples. If the weather is nice, we will go for a walk. If you don't apologize, she will never trust you again. All right, let's move on to the second one. Second conditional. Second conditional expresses an unreal situation and its possible result. The situation or condition is improbable, impossible, imaginary, or contrary to known facts. Second conditional refers to the present and the future. In second conditional, in if clause, we use past tense, simple, and in main clause, present conditional. In other words, it is would plus infinitive. For example, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. If I knew his number, I would phone him. So let's look at the other examples. So you see Jack here, right? He really wants to buy a house, but he can't do this because he doesn't have any money. So in this case, he would say, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. Another example, look at it. So here we have Susan. Susan wants to phone Paul, but she can't do this because she doesn't know his number. She would say, if I knew his number, I would phone him. So now let's see the difference between first and the second conditional. In both conditionals refer to the present and the future. So both of them refer to the present and the future. So the difference between them is about probability, not time. First conditional, real and possible situations, whereas second conditional is unlikely to happen. For example, if John runs fast, he will win the race. This is still possible to happen. While if John ran fast, he would win the race. This is unlikely to happen because John doesn't run fast. So, did you see the difference between them? Okay, so let's move on to the third conditional. So the third conditional refers to the past and it's not based on facts. It expresses the situation which is contrary to reality in the past. In if clause, we use past perfect simple. And in main clause, we use past conditional. It's a would plus have plus past participle. So let's read the examples here. If I had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house. And if I had known his number, I would have phoned him. So let's look at another example. Again, we have Jack here. Jack wanted to buy a house last year, but he couldn't do that because he didn't have any money. So he will say, If I had had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house. Another example. Yesterday, Susan wanted to phone Paul, but she couldn't do that because she didn't know his number. If I had known his number, I would have phoned him. So yeah, she would say, if I had known his number, I would phone him. So now, let's see the difference between second and the third conditional. The difference between the third and the second one is about time. So, second conditional refers to the present and future, and the third conditional to the past situation. For example, here, if I saw a car accident, I would call an ambulance. But I didn't see the accident now. This is unlikely to happen. If I had seen a car accident, I would have called an ambulance. But I didn't see an accident yesterday. This is contrary to the fact in the past. I hope you guys get the difference between the second and the third conditionals. So now I want you to revise. Let's revise all of them once more before moving to mixed conditionals. All right? So, zero conditional. If he drives carefully, he avoids the accident. This is a general time reference. First one. If he drives carefully, he will avoid the accident tomorrow. This is still possible to happen. Second one. If he drove carefully, he would avoid the accident today. But he doesn't drive carefully. This is unlikely to happen. And the third one. If he had driven carefully, he would have avoided the accident yesterday. But he didn't drive carefully, so he didn't avoid the accident. Okay? So now it's time to move to the mixed conditionals. So, we refer to mixed conditionals when we do not follow the standard zero, first, second, or the third conditional patterns. And two of the most common mixed conditionals are combination of second and the third conditionals. So type 1, to talk about the present consequences of the past action. The if clause follows the pattern of the third conditional, and the consequence clause followed the pattern of the second conditional. If we had left earlier, we wouldn't be late. So, we didn't leave earlier enough and we are late now. Type 2. When the if clause presents something hypothetical in the present time, second conditional, that made something from the past not to happen or to happen. Okay, this is third conditional. If I was fitter, I would have won the race. And I'm not fit enough, so I didn't win the race. So, for example, mixed conditional type 1. If I wasn't afraid of flying, I would have visited you in California a long time ago. But I am afraid. Another example of mixed conditional. So, all these mixed conditional sentence refers to an unreal present situation and its unreal past result. If I wasn't afraid of spiders, I would have picked it up. If we didn't trust him, we would have sucked his mouth again. I would have been happy to help you if I wasn't in the middle of another meeting. If I was a good cook, I would have invited them to lunch. If she had enough money, she could have gone on a trip to Hawaii. And the last one, if she had enough money, she could have bought a new car long ago. So, all in all, we use mixed conditional type 1 which is combination of the second and the third conditionals. In if clause, we use past simple, which refers present condition. And in main clause would have an past participle in its turn, which refers past result. So the type 1 is used to talk about past result of the present situation. So here more examples of mixed conditional type 1. I'm not gonna read it now. You can always pause the video and read it by yourselves. Alright? So just pause the video and read all these examples. Now let's move on to the mixed conditional type 2. Let's read this example. If you had recorded this show last night, we would watch it now. In mixed conditional type 2, if clause are in the past perfect, whereas the main clause we use would infinitive. If clause refers unreal past condition and would infinitive present or future result. We use type 2 mixed conditional to speculate about past events which didn't happen, and this has certain effects or consequences in the present. For example, if she hadn't missed the plane yesterday, she would be here in Bristol now. But she isn't. Another one. If you had been careful yesterday, you wouldn't be in hospital today. But she is in hospital now. If he had checked the map before the trip, he wouldn't be lost. But he's lost. And the rest you can read by yourselves. Again, pause the video and read them. Alright? So now here the homework for you guys. Read the story and do the following exercise. I'm gonna show you exercise. So again, I want you to pause the video, read this carefully, and you have to do these exercises. Here you need to match the sentence with the descriptions, and here you need to you need to choose the correct option to explain the meaning of the sentence in italics. Alright? So yeah, whenever you're done, so I want you to check it with your teachers. Okay? So that's it for today. We've revised you first, second, third, zero conditional, and of course we learned mixed conditionals, type 1, type 2. Alright guys, I hope you all get it, and see you next time. Bye.